Welcome back to the Achilles channel, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about a couple things. I'd like to start out by just talking briefly about James Lee, the environmentalist that stormed the Discovery Channel yesterday and took hostages, and the police ended up killing him. This guy was inspired by Al Gore's movie and the Green Movement. He believes that human beings are not necessary to the planet. I mean, obviously, we're not necessary to the planet, but it is our planet, and this goes right along with that person who almost single-handedly, the environmentalist who almost single-handedly banned DDT in the world because she said it was killing bird populations and it was a possible carcinogenic to human beings. And DDT was used as a pesticide, to kill bed bugs and mosquitoes and, keep down mosquito populations and what have you. And so she said, hey man, it's killing the birds. And she wrote this big thing about it. She probably won some leftist awards for it, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, the result of that was thousands of deaths in African countries because of malaria, because they were unable to keep down the mosquito population because they couldn't get DDT. DDT is banned in the world. You see what I'm saying? So people died to save birds. People are not getting water in California because of guppies. These environmentalists are hell-bent on the destruction of man, to say the least. But at the very least, the destruction of our economy. Because they're going to outlaw all of the things that keep us going, and they're going to outlaw all of the things that keep us safe. For example, the EPA is outlawing lead, which means bullets. Bullets to guns are made of lead. They're going to outlaw lead. It's all about the environment. You see, they're using the environment to undermine our liberties. It's the bottom line. But anyway, Al Gore, he was inspired by Al Gore. Now, if that was some right-winger saying he was inspired by Glenn Beck would be shut down. Glenn Beck's name would be all over the news. Nobody's talking about Al Gore. Do you see what I'm saying? The media is complicit in this. And it's a revolution is what it is. Hillary Clinton goes to the UN talking about the Arizona law as a crime against humanity. We are human rights violators. Nothing's even happened. I mean, has there been any rights violated since this law went into place? They watered it down. But the federal law is actually worse than the law. I mean, if you're going to call the law that the Arizonans passed crimes against humanity, the federal law is more strict. It's more oppressive than the Arizona law. So, see, what you don't understand is she's saying this to the UN. This gets documented in history as the U.S. admitting to crimes against humanity. And that's all it is. It's about building a case against America. That's why they continue to do this. This is not the first time. I can't remember his name. Someone else from the State Department said the same thing a couple months ago to the UN. So that's 2 times. I get people calling me, talking to me from all over the world, leaving comments about and giving me statistics about how horrible America is, and they got them from the UN. They got them from the UN. It's about creating a reformation in the world. The U.S. is an oppressor nation. That's what it is. For everybody to be against America. Our government is doing it because we, Americans, are the enemy to this regime that's running us. Because they're not trying to better our lot in life. They're trying to diminish our power in our own country. Sovereignty. For example, the UCSD professors in California say we have 2 choices. Give America back to the indigenous people we stole it from, or wait until the collapse. Because they see something, they know something you don't. This is what I wrote. This has been created for you, to get you to view America the way they want you to. which is an oppressor nation. They're saying that we either give it back to the indigenous people now or wait for the collapse. Because that's what this government is doing right now. They're collapsing this country under debt. It's the Cloward-Piven strategy, the crisis strategy. All of these things, if you go back to the root cause of all of these problems in the financial sector, the housing sector, you go back to the root cause, and it begins with government. It begins with progressivism. Do you understand? Progressivism on both sides poisoned our government. The other guy, the other professor, Richard Dominguez, says, so the question is to move the kind of anchor of civil disobedience within the kind of over-fetish notion of a single sovereignty of a nation, which that's what we are now. We are a sovereign nation. But to look at a larger trans tract, a larger trans nation, a larger trans society that is emerging. It's not emerging, it's being created. What he's talking about here is a trans tract, a trans society. That's North America. That's Canada, the United States, and South America all becoming one. No borders. No borders. That's what these people are talking. That's what they're teaching our children. These are professors in San Diego, in colleges. This is what they're teaching. This is what the leftists are teaching our children. That America is oppressive. All of this stuff is together. This is all part of a worldwide communist revolution. And the target is America, because America is free. We are free people. Do you understand? They must destroy our Constitution, because our Constitution represents freedom in the world. They're talking about changing the Bill of Rights. Do you understand? Where the government would have total control over the people through housing, through employment, through health care. The same things they're doing in Venezuela. They actually promote this. There's a woman that's working in the Department of Labor. She advocates that we follow Hugo Chavez, the route he took. They have communal farms, communal factories. The government runs everything. The military builds houses. Everybody has a right to a home, a job, and health care. But the government controls it all. That's what they're pushing here. That's what our government is pushing here, is creating in this country. And they're getting the world to hate us so that when they have to crack down on us, they will have the world's approval, because they have proven to the world that we are an oppressive nation. Just look at the UN documents. It'll tell you that we have admitted multiple times to our human rights violations. The UN wants to take rights away from the American people with a Children's Bill of Rights, worldwide rights. The UN wants to do that. And our government wants to sign that treaty, which will take rights away from parents to raise their children. Isn't this, it's a worldwide communist revolution. That's what it is. And if you don't believe it, then just wait. You'll see it soon enough. God bless America.